Welcome to the Digital Micro Trading Journal. This is Day Trading for ROI, how to spot a mean reversion setup. I'm Digital Micro, and welcome to the video. So, how to spot a mean reversion setup. This is basically a new video, and I'm going to show you my charts and how I analyze for a potential opportunity. This is just simply what my analysis is and how I'm looking at it. So, I'm going to show you three charts and the top two or three things on each chart, because it's never about one indicator or one chart. I look at a batch of information, put it all together to synthesize how do I feel about this based on the analytics, price action, order flow, potential setup, and then if I'm going to take a trade, how to size it. A lot of things to review. So let's break it down chart by chart. Okay, M2K Russell 2000 micro contract. We're going to look at the 24-hour chart to begin with. We have three green candles and this red candle starting Thursday, the 10th of February, 2022. And I'm looking here for these charts to confirm and verify some confluence. There's no one indicator, no one single chart, but I'm trying to align a trade setup with the narrative, and the narrative is the Fed no longer has our back. Yet we've got a very strong rally here for 3 days. So notice prior, back in January, how we closed at the end of January, beginning February. We had 3 days green and followed by two red candles. So three up, two down, and then a doji, and then now here we are in February, and we have three green, and we've got this red candle as I record this in Globex. So here's the three things that I'm looking at for confluence that are speaking to me. First of all, this purple line, the 4 volume weighted moving average. This line here, 2041.4. I'm looking at this because I've got a 2 candle air separated from price to this line. So possible mean reversion at this level. We'll see how the RTH trade changes or this line direction. But even more important to me on this 24-hour is the middle Bollinger Band. And notice the angle, it's pointed down. So this is really the first time in 2022 we've had one full candle day absolutely above with air, and that was the previous day of February 9th. And here we are with a nice gap here at 2072 on the price, where the middle Bollinger Band is 32. So we are really looking at 40 handles here above a declining mid Bollinger Band. I'm not saying price is going to revert back to it, but I'm just interested because of the confluence and how close the 4 volume weighted moving average is to the mid. And the third point on this chart is the volume. We've got 3 days of price green, but look at the volume. We've got 3 volume decreases. So that's interesting to me too, because that means we possibly are going to get some bulls trapped. We'll look at see what the volume count is for Thursday and then Friday Globex. So there you have it. This is the first chart, large time frame, 24-hour. Let's go to the 120. So now I review the 120 minute here for the trade journal, and what I'm noticing here is 3 key points. Number one that really catches my eye is I like a mean reversion trade setup opportunity especially when I've got an RSI for the first time in 2022 above 70. And it's been above 70 for probably 20 hours. And that's very important. And you notice here we're just starting to go below it here in the Thursday Europe Globex. So that's number one. Number two is this green line slanting upward. This is my 81 EMA line in the sand. And what I'm looking for is the distant gap between the current level, 2028, and the actual price, which is 2073. So I'm really got a nice amount of handles between the 81 EMA and current price. So that's number two. And the last one to note is what we've done with price action. If you can see here where I'm highlighting the 14 bar bracket, this was very profitable for me and going in and out because we had a bracket. After the bracket break, you notice with this blue dot, I noted the anchor volume weighted average price, which right now is about 2053, 53.6. And what's important about that is that was a 15 bar trend up on the 120 candles. So we went 14 bracket, 15 trend up. And where we're at right now, again, based on Wednesday's close, this is the second anchored VWAP I put. And what that's telling us is trend has stopped currently, and we're in a consolidation zone. And it's Globex. Never trust what the Globex traders are doing. It's all about the RTH and the big money crowd on what they're going to do. But currently, we're consolidating with the energy of where the tape is at. And I could see potentially in the RTH, we come back, tag the upper Bollinger Band one more time, and then mean revert down. And again, the anchored VWAP area from this breakout of the bracket is a first level. And the other level I'm very interested in is look at this 2022 anchored volume weighted average price at 2049, rounding up here a little bit. And the reason that's so important is we have never been above the anchored VWAP until this rally. So the question is, does this rally continue? Does it have legs? Is it going to confound the narrative? And what is the narrative again? The narrative is the Fed does not have our back. March, it's going to start potentially raising interest rates. And that's not going to be accommodating to how the market did last year, where the Fed was very dovish and easy on money. So I'm more biased right now to a mean reversion lower. And just to wrap up and recap here on this chart, this 81 EMA and this RSI are the two biggest things that are giving me influence. Let's go to the last chart, which is the order flow charts. So these are the order flow charts, and I like to always take a look. Order flow is super important to look at what the flow is. So on the left here, I've got the 2 hour, and on the right is a 30-second. And what I'm looking at is with the European Globex pivot, what are people doing? What is the cumulative delta? And what I have here is right on the pivot of Hong Kong closing and Europe opening, we see a big accumulative delta up, and then all of a sudden demand absolutely dropping. And the pace of the flow, you can see these red candles here accelerated. So that's one picture, but it's very short term. So I go to the 2 hour, and what jumps out here at me is these huge spikes on the 2 hour candles of this delta, and looking above at the price, nothing happens. So that tells me right there, lots of effort with diminishing results. So we're going to have to see the RTH regular trading hour New York boys in the first hour of trading to really go and continue this rally, it's going to take a lot because, again, the pace is diminishing here, and the pace is right down here. You see the amount of green is going down, but again, the tell for me was this cumulative delta spiking up and then absolutely no price result. So that's a basic wrap here. I wanted to thank you for watching the video. Please hit the subscribe, and that way you can support me doing more videos like this. Again, not trading advice, just my personal day trading ROI trading journal. That's all it is. Hopefully this helps. Take care. Aloha.